Hi, I'm back. I'm Simply You, and I did promise that I'll make another video talking about my mother-in-law and my hardship. And I just want this to help anyone out there who's struggling and going through some kind of trouble. It doesn't really have to be with mother-in-law, but if it's a husband, a boyfriend, you just have to know that, you got to make decisions that work for you because I had to do what works for me. So, saying that, and now I will tell you. And I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so whenever I post something new, you will be the first to know. And I like to do a lot of variety. I am fun, I could be serious. It's just excited. So I'm happy that you are taking the time to visit my channel. Now, when I was 20, I got pregnant. And then my husband at the time was on vacation. We met. I was vacationing from New York. He was vacationing from another country. We met in the islands. Well, I thought I fell in love because I mean, hey, sometimes you see some guy and you just think you're in love, and that's what happened. And one thing led to the next. We went on the beach, we had fun, and then we had sex, and I was pregnant. And he told me he will be heading back to his country after vacation, but he will send and get me. And he did that. Within 2 months, he was gone, and then he sent me a ticket, and then I left and I went to a foreign country because, again, I am in love. And when that happens, we we met, we talk. He brought me home. When I got home, realized I was at his mother's house, and at the time it wasn't a big problem because I'm young and you don't think too much of it. And then the next introduced me to his parents and everything, and they didn't seem too happy, but I didn't take that for anything. Again, I'm just 20. And then after that, when the next day, I noticed things seems tense. So I was like, okay, something is not right. So I asked my boyfriend at the time and I said, well, what is going on? Because something doesn't seem right. It feels tense. And I'm the kind of person, I laugh. I mean, I do take things seriously, but I am more on the happy side. I laugh, I talk. I mean, that's just me. And he said, oh, nothing. And I said, are you going to work? He's like, no. And then he went into explaining why he's not working, because at the time when we met, he did tell me he was sick, but he told me what was wrong, but I never heard of it, and it didn't do much for me. So I didn't worry about that. As far as I was concerned, I was in love and I'm pregnant and I'm in a foreign country and all is well and I'm good. So didn't worry about it. So later when I asked him, I say, what is wrong? Something is wrong. And he said, well, his parents are not pleased that I'm here. And I'm like, didn't you tell them? And he's like, yes, I did, but they wasn't happy about it. But as a man, I have to keep my word and I have to make sure you are here with me and stuff like that. So I say, okay, fine. If he's good with that, I am good with that. And that was fine for a couple days, and then the weekend came and his mom is upstairs and she's talking about me, and I can hear her because I mean we live in the same house. She's talking about me, how I'm this and I'm that, and how the child is yours, you need to do a DNA. And she never asked me how we met, nothing. She never find out anything about what was going on, but she thought that all of a sudden she thinks I'm a hoe and I'm sleeping with everybody, and he's telling her that's not true, you don't know her, you need to talk to her. And she's like, well, I don't have to talk to her, she's in my house and I am not happy. You bring a pregnant person in my house, you don't know if the child is yours. And I'm sitting downstairs, and the only thing I can do was cry, and I'm crying and crying. And then he came back downstairs, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not welcome here, so I have to figure out what to do. I say, but I'm not going back to the islands. You gotta figure out something to do because this is your child and you know that. He said, I know, my mom don't know what she's talking about. And for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it got worse to the point where in front of me she's talking about me like, oh, you're home all day, you didn't cook. And then the next day if I cook, she'll be like, you didn't make enough gravy. And the next day when I cook and I make it a lot, she's like, why did you make all this gravy? And I mean, it was like from one thing to the next to the next. And I noticed my boyfriend at the time was afraid to confront her and tell her what was wrong or what was going on and what she shouldn't be saying because I'm right here. And instead of saying all these things, she should be talking to me and asking me questions and trying to figure out what was wrong. But she wasn't. And one day she came home and she's like, you didn't clean the house and you didn't do the laundry and you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And I'm like, I don't think that's what I'm there for, to do your laundry and stuff like that. But at the same time, it was very painful because I'm in a foreign country. I know no one except my boyfriend. And here I am at his parents' house and they are just treating me. She's just treating me like shit. And I can't answer her back because, you have to have your manners. Whether the person's treating you bad, you're in their house, you still have to respect them and know that this is their house. So I was like, okay, I'm just taking it and taking it. And then the neighbor across the street, she was pregnant with twins. She had two young children. She asked me if I can watch them for because her nanny will be back soon, and it will be about her nanny went away for a month, and if I can do it for her, she'd pay me. So I just walk across the street. That was like my little haven, even though I was taking care of two kids, and they're unruly and misbehaving. But to me, that was like my heaven, and I was happy to be there. And then the end of the day, it's like I'm walking 10 steps to the house, but it felt like hundreds of years. And the problem did not stop. She just kept on and kept on. She would call friends when she get home and tell them, oh, I'm here to ruin her son's life, and I'm here and I'm just looking for some kind of rescue. And I mean, I wasn't looking for some rescue. I could have been happy at my dad's house and stuff like that. But it's like you think you're in love and you just mosey on through and just hold everything in and cry yourself to sleep at night and cry. And one day one day I was sitting there and it was so, so, so bad. I packed up all my clothes, put in a suitcase, and I left the house and I'm walking up the street. I have nowhere to go. I know no one. I'm in a foreign country. I'm going nowhere. But I just felt if I did something, I would feel better. And I was like about 7 months pregnant. And his sister came running after me and she's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I say, your mom don't like me and she's treating me like shit and I don't know what to do. And I just think if I just leave, I'll be better. And then she called. By then, my boyfriend went back to work and she called him and she said, this is what's happening. And he didn't work far from home, so he's like, I'll be right there. And then he came and he's like, what are you doing? I said, you can't tell your mom anything and your mom is treating me badly. I'm only 20. I don't deserve that. I haven't done anything to her to treat me so bad. And he's like, I'll talk to her. And then she came home and as soon as she came home, she's like telling me all this craziness and calling people and talking about me. And I was so, 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 so sad. It hurts today. Up till today, it still hurts when I talk about it. And then she started talking and he started telling her, you need not to say that. And then he had a younger brother and the younger brother is like, you need to stop. You're treating her badly. And they start telling her all these things. And she wouldn't do it when they were there, but when they were not there, she would still make her phone calls. And at this point, I was like, you know what? I am tired of crying. I'm pregnant. I just gotta get myself together. So I just held everything in and didn't cry anymore because by now I was crying every day. Every time I think about it, I was crying. So by now I can't cry anymore. So time to give birth. We went to the hospital, give birth, and then I tell her, I was like, do you need to do the DNA now and stuff like that. She's like, child, please, this kid looks so much like us. Why would I want to do a DNA? Acting like she never said anything all these months and everything is fine all of a sudden. And I'm like, I don't understand that. So when my boyfriend came at the time, we were not married, I tell him, I say, I don't want to live at her house. We need to find our place. We need to move out because I can't raise this kid crying all the time and your mom and stuff like that. So when we went back to her house, we were there for about 2 months, and then he found an apartment, and then we were not too far from her, but we moved. And then she comes over. I was happy then because I didn't have to go to her. If he wants to bring the baby there, he brings the baby there. And sometimes I would go with him, but just out of respect, because I did care about him and I did love him, and he was trying his best. So I'd go there sometimes with him as respect, but not often. Not often, because I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And then I find her coming to our apartment unannounced and stuff like that. So after the second time, I told my boyfriend, I said, you need to talk to your mom because I am not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to take my kid and I'm going to leave. And then we spent a while there and stuff like that. And we went and we stayed. And then it was time. I say, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I say, I know now we have our own apartment, but I am heading back home. And that's what I did. I pack up in the middle of winter. I was like, I will see you if you want to see me and the baby. You're going to have to come see me, but other than that, I am done. And that's what I did. But I thought it would have gotten better, but things went a whole other direction, and that is for the next topic. So if you like this video, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I will tell you exactly what happened after I travel way across from that country to the islands. There is so much more to this, but at least I was living. But hey, things change. Go ahead, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll tell you the rest. Thanks. Bye for now.